I have finally got a little time to work on the Hummel again. Now that we got the half Volkswagen running, what we're going to do now is a little correction. Because I originally had planned on using the Rotax. These mounting holes in the front end are too far back because they are positioned for the Rotax. And I don't want to just drill another set of holes up here. So we're going to take these rivets out, both sides. We'll end up replacing this top piece and we'll end up replacing the angle that's inside. And then we'll should be able to put the mounting holes up here where they're supposed to be for the half. And I also bumped it a little during storage. So we'll fix that little mess up while we're in there. So just a lot of de-riveting for the moment. Well, the rivet removal's not going bad at all. Of course, these are solid rivets, so they don't have a built-in spot to center a drill like the pull-type rivets. So I've got a little grinder wheel here, and I've just been flattening out the top of the rivets just a little bit. Then I go through with a punch the top, so I've got a spot to start drilling, and then just drill them on through. Now, if it looks like it's a little off when you start drilling, just correct it as you go. It's not a problem. It's been taking them all out, no damage to the outer skin. I've been putting a finger on each side on the back side to straddle the rivet. Give it a little back pressure. Just make sure you got your fingers over the right rivet, or you could have a hole in your finger. And there we go. Well, I've got all of the pieces removed from the nose of the plane. I did a little hammer and dolly work down here, smoothed that spot out where I bumped it. Same there on the front edge. And the problem with the Rotax bolt holes that I had in there is they're too far back. Everything needs to be moved forward for the half VW, and I didn't want to leave extra holes in the support that holds the motor on. So I'm going to cut a couple of new pieces of aluminum angle. We'll drill those where they're supposed to be according to plans, fit them onto the mounts on here. Okay, we've got the new side rails fit and drilled. So now we need to cut out the aluminum sheet pieces that go to the side of the fuselage and then down. We've got a nice size sheet of aluminum here. I have marked off a section that's big enough to cut two of the upper pieces. I'll just, once I get this cut out with snips, take it to the bandsaw, cut it diagonally, and then we can start bending, shaping, and drilling. There you got the pieces cut out. Now it's time to put the angle on the side. Now we got two matching pieces. Okay, we've already got the line of rivet holes down the side. So I just put a center line on the angle. We'll match that up, drill from the outside in, and start clecoing that in place. All right, both of the new horizontal pieces are in place. Now I need to build the two verticals. And since I had one completely disassembled that I was getting rid of, the replacing, I just flattened it out and used it as a template. Cut out two new ones here. Now we need to bend those up. We can start fitting those in there and do the same thing, drill them up. All right, the horizontal pieces are now drilled to the angle. They're fastened to the side of the fuselage. So now it's time to fit the vertical pieces. I've got it just clamped on here. And I made a scribe mark on this bottom piece, and it's gonna, when everything's brought together down at the bottom, the line of rivets will be right across there. So now the next step is to drill a line of rivet holes along there to fasten the vertical piece onto the angle. Okay, both vertical pieces are drilled. along with the angle underneath. I've got everything squared up, cross-check the measurements. This spacer board keeps everything the right distance apart. So now it's time to go underneath. We'll pull the outer skin together with the vertical parts of the engine mount. We'll drill and cleco this side and then go over and do the same on the other side. Okay, there's the clecos on the bottom. Everything went in pretty good. This area right there where I bumped it straightened out pretty good. Drilled the holes in the vertical flanges back there. So right now, since these are solid rivets, you have to be able to get to both sides of the piece. So what I'm going to do is take it all back apart, deburr all of the holes, then we'll go in and put solid rivets on the top and bottom pieces where they go into the angle, and then we can bring it back, put it back on the airframe, and solid rivet it to the skins. But got to do these two parts first. Okay, we got a little riveting done. And like I said, the rivets we're using on this are the solid type rivets. Like that. A lot of the ones on the fuselage are pull type rivets, which is like a pop rivet. But these go through, and then you use an air hammer. And the end is cupped out on the tool there. And that cradles the round head of the rivet. And then on the other side where it pops through, you need a bucking bar, which is, I use this piece of steel. You put it on the end of that, and then you use the air hammer on the other side to smash down the rivet to hold it in place. And that's what they end up looking like installed. Very important to keep the air hammer in line with the rivet. If you let it get off to the side, it'll end up dimpling the metal next to it or smearing the head of it. Now, I do make deals that come in and squeeze the rivets, and on something like this, I could use that. But there's a lot of places on the fuselage where you can't, it's too far away to be able to use the squeeze type riveter, so I just use the air hammer and try to stay in practice doing that and just do all of them that way. We're now ready to finish rivet this piece on the sides, and on the lower sections, just use shorter rivets because it's not going through the piece of angle there. Otherwise, process is the same. All right, the engine box is complete. Except for the little covers that go on the front. This is all riveted in. Now I'm back to about the same spot I was before I started building the half VW. So next video, we'll be using the engine crane. We'll be taking the engine over there, setting it down in here, and trimming out these to where it will set down on the mount properly, make sure everything's hooked up like it should. So be watching for that one. Catch you on the next video. Thanks for watching.